2015, Agenda 2030 was presented, an extended version of Agenda 21. 11 more goals were added to the original agenda, all aimed at the future of our planet and the human race, all aimed at sustainability. By now, 193 countries were participating. Do you know how many countries there are in the world? Only 2 more, 195. The only 2 that are called observer states are the Vatican and Palestine. Agenda 2030 contains 91 paragraphs. Paragraph 59 outlines 17 sustainable development goals. There are 169 targets and 232 indicators. This makes it a rather dry document to digest. But we read it, and we were impressed by the level of cleverness and cunningness with which something so evil was put together so seemingly benign. Using complex phrases in which words like peace, equality, safety and security are repeated frequently, the reader is actually left with a good, positive feeling. We'll show you the 17 Sustainable Development Goals in the following slide. Feel free to pause the video and have a proper look. We will, however, continue swiftly as we wish to point out where things go wrong, not where things appear to be right. Let's face it, these goals are not feasible. The Club of Rome and the UN can use as many beautiful words as they can come up with, but how on earth are they going to accomplish these 17 goals? By asking you and me to pay more tax? Think about it. Number 1, end poverty in all its forms everywhere. Really? How? The word sustainable is used 10 times. Why? To throw fairy dust into our eyes so that we don't see? So that we will willingly pay more tax and more tax and more? So that the world will be saved from us, the cancer of the earth? There is nothing sound about these 17 goals. There is no logic. Take goal number 7. Ensure access to affordable, reliable, sustainable and modern energy for all. How? Are they finally giving the oppressed free 0-point energy of Nikola Tesla to the people? Really? The real reason why these goals were put together is to come to the conclusion that they can never be achieved as long as all the participating countries in the world and all their governments have to communicate with each other. That too much time, too much money is lost due to endless meetings. I'll bet you that the next step will be the announcement that the 17 Sustainable Development Goals can only be reached with a one world government. The countries will have to give up their sovereignty in order to save the world. Mark my words. The essence of the entire Agenda 2030 is socialist communistic. It describes equal distribution of goods and money, which sounds great, but which in fact means that the rich countries are to share their wealth with the poor countries. These poor countries are generally run by highly corrupted usurpers, dictators, such as Kenyatta of Kenya and Obiang of Papua New Guinea, or Xi Jinping of China. Are they going to share their wealth, their blood money, with their people? That sounds like a wonderful idea to get rid of poverty once and for all. Everybody would be rich in a split second. Let's take all the money from these corrupted governments Add to it the immense wealth of the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, both the British and the Dutch royal families, and of course the Vatican. Let's redistribute that wealth among the world population. My, what a marvelous idea to end poverty once and for all. Well, no. The people will share with the people. So, in my case, the Dutch taxpayer will have to pay and share with the poor people of, in this example, New Guinea. Now, don't get me wrong, I am for sharing, absolutely, but not according to the plans of the UN, where corrupt, malign governments remain unaffected. Read the paragraphs, the targets and indicators of Agenda 2030. Read them well, and you will see that the people will bleed, not the governments. Whenever governments talk about equality, you can rest assured that communism is involved, and they don't even hide it. Top globalists such as former NATO chief Javier Solana, a socialist, openly celebrate the plan as the next great leap forward. That's right, the old campaign slogan of the Chinese Communist Party. And isn't it odd that straight away just about every country in the world decided to participate and work together? Every dictator of every corrupt government who still had the blood on their hands of innocent civilian victims signed Agenda 21 and later Agenda 2030. Countries that had been at war with each other for years, like for instance Ethiopia and Eritrea, now all of a sudden shook hands, smiled in front of the camera, and decided to forget about their wars on drugs, weapons, and people trafficking, just to focus on the importance of a better world? On sustainability? Are you kidding me? What on earth were we looking at here? How much will the implementation of Agenda 2030 cost anyway? Well, according to the UN, and confirmed by the World Bank in a 2015 statement, between $3 and $5 trillion per year. That is 12 zeros. $5 trillion per year. Where the hell is the UN going to get that money from? All those zeros are going to be collected from the taxpayers, from you and me. That's what the solution of the UN is all about. The moment a baby is born, that baby has a carbon footprint. And from the moment he or she was born, that baby will have to pay. Isn't that brilliant? The shame and blame that is put on you and me, my goodness me. Agenda 21, 2030, the Club of Rome, UN, they all claim that we, the people, are to blame for the misery in the world, from poverty to inequality, from famine to the exhaustion of the planet's resources. Fine, let's talk about the planet's resources, shall we? Ever heard of Henry Kissinger? Oh, you will. Let's continue to part 6.